Welcome back here to Sports Extra. I'm Marty Ledbetter. Alongside me, my co-host, as always, Cody Adams. Cody, just got done wrapping up Indiana State football. We now need to switch gears into the much-anticipated start of the basketball season for the Indiana State men. They had their first exhibition game this past weekend, beating Truman State 87-33. I mean, it was an exhibition game, but what were your thoughts after looking through the stats?
I think the most exciting thing is seeing that really Jake Odom hasn't lost any touch of what he's done.
No.
From what I understand, he's been working extremely hard in this offseason. That loss to Syracuse in the tournament, while it was expected by most of the country, the Indiana State team wanted to win. They planned on winning that game because you never go into a game planning to lose.
No.
And that loss was hard on him, and he wants to get back to that situation where this team plays in the tournament and can win and advance.
Well, Jake Odom was trending on Twitter during that game. That was the most shocking thing to me. I was in Cleveland, and I remember I was on my Twitter account doing the live broadcast via Twitter, and I looked over in the corner, and I saw Jake Odom's name trending, and I was like, what is this? And I clicked on it, and I saw ESPN reporters that were saying, who is this Jake Odom? And one thing that stands out to me, Cody, is the fact that if he can start shooting the ball, when he's underneath the hoop, and because there's so many times where he had a layup just right there, it was done, and he kicked it out for a three-point attempt to Aaron Carter or to somebody else out there at the arc. That you're going for the 3 points, you're going for the assist because Jake Odom is a true point guard. But you and I both want to see if Jake can go ahead and start scoring more.
Absolutely. I think as a freshman, his thought process was, I'm not the leader of this team yet. I'm a freshman. I'm playing point guard. That's exciting. But he has to realize that now he is the leader of this team.
Absolutely.
He is the offense of this team, and he gets things going. He's going to have to shoot some more. He's going to have to take those shots when he gets in the paint. And I'm excited to get this season going. I don't understand how you couldn't be. Coming off the Missouri Valley Tournament champions, playing in the NCAA tournament. Missouri Valley picked to finish third in the Missouri Valley this year. Very exciting things going on in the Indiana State basketball program right now. And
there's a lot of mutual respect around the entire Missouri Valley, not only for just Jake Odom, but several players on the roster. And overall, Carl Richard, the person that you and I both have said is arguably maybe the best player on the team. He's right up there with Jake Odom because of everything he does for the team. He comes up with the crucial shot when it's necessary. He gets the big rebound. He plays the clutch defense. He does everything that he's asked upon a forward in college basketball.
He literally, I think at some point in my career here, I've seen him play the 2, 3, and 4 spot for this team. He's all around probably the best player on this Sycamore basketball team. Jake Odom probably in someday will be a future NBA draft pick. I truly believe that, whether it's second round or just picked up.
If he continues to improve, you got to think that that's an absolute possibility. The Missouri Valley Conference has had guards taken in the past. Kyle Korver from Creighton, who went on to be a great three-point shooter in the NBA. He's still in the NBA now. It's not going to be a stretch to say a guard getting picked from the Missouri Valley Conference could find a spot on an NBA roster.
Exactly, and what I was Carl Richard is just as good.
Yeah.
I mean, I truly believe that. He's got the talent to do things that a lot of guys on this team can't do, and he's going to be a big push for this team going into March Madness, really.
Cody, one thing that we really need to look at here is the fact that we saw the bench play. The bench play was crucial to Indiana State's victories, their key victories down the stretch and in the tournament last year. R.J. Mahern, you've said that you've seen him put on a lot more muscle. He's going to come out here. He's going to have to play a lot more defense. We know he can score. That's never been an option. But can we see if he can come out here and avoid the dumb fouls? R.J. Mahern last year picked up 3 fouls in 15 seconds in one game, and that was a head-scratcher to everybody.
His issue so far at the collegiate level has been discipline. He's just not a very disciplined player. He makes some big mistakes, whether it's jumping in the air when he shouldn't, staying on the ground, playing good defense with your hands rather than jumping up. He just makes a lot of silly mistakes, and I hope that that's something that he's taken care of. As you were saying, he has put on a ton of muscle. I was at practice not too long ago, saw them scrimmage. Just the fact that he was so strong, really competing with guys like Miles Walker at times for rebounds. And that's something you're going to have. I mean, we've seen him shoot. We know he's a great shooter, a good scorer.
He can shoot from anywhere on the floor.
We need him to play defense. We need him to be able to rebound. And right now, that's the most important thing for his game going forward this season.
And something you just touched on was Miles Walker, the fact that he did so much for us last year as the center for Indiana State, and he was asked to do so much. R.J. Mahern, he came in some situations, was able to do a little bit here and there. Jake Kitchell was redshirted last year, though. Jake Kitchell's going to be able to come in here, and he's going to have to fill the gap of Isaiah Martin's absence.
Jake Kitchell is going to be a huge advantage for this team going forward. He's a big body, about 6'11", really one of the best players in the state of Indiana 2 years ago as a senior in high school. He's going to have to step in and fill that role, like you said, of Isaiah Martin. He's going to have a little bit of help, though. Guys like Justin Gant, a freshman from Terre Haute North, right here in Terre Haute, another local guy. He was a 3-star recruit by ESPN, had looks from North Carolina's, Ohio State's, big schools. Chose to stay here because he loves Terre Haute. He looks outstanding. I've seen him a couple times in practice. In high school, one of his big problems was he was a little weak, made some big mistakes. He looks a lot stronger, looks a lot more disciplined, and I think he's going to play a big role on this team this year.
What do you think of the starting lineup that we saw in the exhibition game where we saw Dwayne Lathan sitting on the bench and Jake Kitchell? You and I both speculated that Kitchell would maybe start at center, moving Miles down to power forward and Carl Richard to the 3 spot. What do you think of the idea that they went ahead and started Miles at center, Carl Richard at power forward, and Jordan Prinny, coming off of the bench, usually has moved into being the small forward starter now?
Well, I think this team is now at a point where they have pieces they've put together. Jordan Printy has great senior leadership. He's going to be the leader of this team this year, along with obviously Jake Odom, but senior leadership is so important. He's going to be that guy to get open shots, hit the big 3. We know he can shoot the 3.
He's a sharpshooter, and he can shoot the lights out better than almost anybody on the team.
Exactly, and I think what they're going to do is eventually, certain games, Jake Kitchell's going to be starting, I feel like.
Yeah.
There's going to be different lineups. I love Dwayne Lathan coming off the bench.
I think it's a brilliant idea.
Electrifying, exciting. He's one of those guys that can really just get off the bench, do some great things. He's going to help the team out a lot, not just in momentum, but he's going to put points on the board as well.
Well, it helps out the entire team in general, basically because we also lost a very crucial guard. Logan Idle has decided he wants to pursue other activities outside of basketball. He has left the team. But this is not, oh my goodness, he stormed out of Coach Lansing's office and he slammed the door. This was a very mutual respect leaving of Logan Idle.
Absolutely. Just feeling that he needed to pursue some different things. Really felt that God was pushing him in a different direction. You have to respect a guy who has something like that. Division I athlete, has the opportunity to play on potentially one of the best teams that Indiana State has had in a long time.
Right.
And felt that he needed to go a different direction. This team loves him. Coach Lansing has said he's always going to be a part of this family. They keep his picture up in the locker room still. He's going to be part of this team. He's going to be in a locker room at times, with the guys. The guys love him. And Coach Lansing even said, come February or even December, if it's that early, if he decides he wants to play and wants back on the team, they're more than happy to have him because he's an important role player. He does some good things for this team, and he would have done some amazing things for this team, I think, this coming up season.
Now, his twin brother, Lucas, has decided he wants to go ahead and stay on the team. He's going to be on the team. You got to think he's going to eat up some of those minutes that Logan would have seen. We'll see if he can be the kind of defensive player that Logan was. Logan, there down the end of the year, was one of our better defensive players coming off of the bench. He didn't play a lot of minutes, but when he came in, that opposing shooting guard wasn't going to score unless he got around Logan.
No, and like you said, hopefully Lucas can step into that spot. The benefit that he has is he's only going to play 2-3 minutes at a time. So he can come in and go full speed that whole time and just be in the face of the opposing offense.
We have our first regular season game coming up this Friday at the Holman Center, Cody. It's against Eastern Illinois at 5 p.m. Scheduled tip-off. We talked about the starting lineup we saw for the exhibition game. If that's the same starting lineup with Miles Walker, Carl Richard, Jordan Prinny, and then McWhorter and Odom at the guards, what are you looking for from Indiana State in this game?
Looking for Jake Odom, first of all, to keep doing what he's been doing.
Yeah.
Don't take a step back. Don't try and do too much. Just be the same player that you've always been. Just get a little bit better at those things.
We have some big games coming up this year too, Cody. We also have the Old Spice Classic that's coming up. What are your thoughts about the kind of media attention Indiana State's going to get, as I think we have 6 games scheduled to be on ESPN or other major media outlets?
Yeah, very exciting. I don't understand how you couldn't be excited. This team has worked so hard to get these media looks, get the games on ESPN. They're going to play teams like Dayton, Texas Tech, Vanderbilt, number 17 in the country at Vanderbilt. That's going to be an exciting game for the Sycamores and really for Sycamore fans. It's just exciting for you and I especially to be in school and see this team get to do these sort of things and be part of this.
I'm Jaws, he's Cody, and you're still tuned into Sports Extra. We're going to go ahead and take another break. When we come back, we'll go over and switch sides to the Indiana State women's basketball program.